Alright, so today we're going to be doing another tutorial, and today I'm going to teach you how to build a nice little river through your island. Because right now you see we have a nice little island, but it's kind of boring. I mean, it's not boring, but it would look better if it was separated by a small little river. Now, this is going to be a style of river that I don't know if many people use, so you might not like this style, but if you do, then this tutorial is for you. But, we'll just get right into it. So, these are the pieces you're going to need. You can use any piece of this, just make sure it's the corner piece, because in my opinion this looks nicest, and just blow it up all the way. Get one of these flat grass pieces. Now, you're going to want to get these from any terrain gallery, so like these pieces will work too, just as good as these, but just make sure you get these pieces. And then you're just going to want any nature you want, which is why I have those trees there. Now, assuming you have your island already built, what you're going to want to do is just slice it right in half. Just delete a big crack in it into your island. You're going to want to be careful with how big you make this, because you don't want to destroy anything else you've built. Just make a good space for your river to be. Now, if you delete a little too much terrain, it is okay. It actually advises you delete a little too much, because you can always place it back later. Just delete all this. There, now you have your island pretty much separated into two. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your big blown up piece here, go on to Grid Snap 2, and kind of start placing the pieces just like this along where you want your river to be. You're basically making the outline of your river right now. Making rivers is pretty easy, but in case you want to know how I make my rivers, then this is for you. Or at least I find making rivers easy. Some people may find it hard. That's what I'm here to do, to help you learn how to make things better. And then you're going to want to copy the same thing over to this side. Just make the outline of your river. Now you're going to want it to be a pretty wide gap at first, and you'll see why soon. Like, don't make it overwhelmingly wide, like to the point where it's a completely separate island. You can have those little areas where it's like a little too close, that's fine. But what I don't really like it, but you can have it. But in my opinion, it just turns out better without that. I'm still new to making tutorials, so if these are bad, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna want to make sure you have what you like. And then boom, I have the outline of my river there. You can see it's slicing right through my island. And then what you're going to want to do is you can replace the piece I'm using with a sand piece if you want, depending on what you want. But I'm just going to take any corner piece I want, and then I'm going to place it along the bottom of the river too. Just going to keep on placing it like this, all the way across. Now make sure these won't actually touch when you do this to the other side too. Because if these touch, then that'll just close off your river, and it'll end up looking really weird. They can get really close, though. Sometimes I like it when it gets really close, because then it's not just all a big gap. Now, if you're making this for a mini Battle Royale map, you're obviously going to want to put some materials down here, which is what we'll get to here soon. Either materials or witty it up, which will do both. And now you see that we have the basics of our river complete. Now this is where you can just leave it at this point if you want to be lazy, but I don't like to do that. Now, for me, I'm just going to blow this up a little since I don't need to fill in much space. You're going to blow this up, like, on the all axis thing, and then you're going to want to shrink it as much as you can on the height. That way it's pretty much completely level with your terrain. And then you're just going to want to fill in all of this, and if you have any holes down there too, you might want to fill them in. Like any holes down where the river is. Just go ahead and fill in your terrain here. Now mine's not going to be perfect because I'm rushing this for the tutorial. But just going to want to fill in your holes. Now you can see I have these little pieces hanging off the edge here. I advise you usually get rid of those, but I'm not going to put in too much effort. Okay, so now you have the basics of your river done. You could just leave it at this point, but the first thing you're going to want to do is take these corner pieces. By the way, you're done with this piece. Once you filled in all your holes, you're not going to need that anymore. You're going to want to take this piece, turn it onto the yaw axis, and then put them together like this. Then you're going to want to take them and do this. Just along the edge of your river. It makes it look a lot less plain than what it would look like if you just left it how it was. There you go. And now you're going to take your nature pieces, go off grid snap, and just finish placing down all your nature up here. It's going to make up here look nice and pretty. And then you're gonna place your nature down here. That was I was just kind of doing this mindlessly. And then you're gonna do that. You can add a little more nature down there. Like, you can go into the nature galleries. I usually have nature and terrain both turned on at the same time. You can go into the nature galleries, get some bushes to do like this and stuff. Now this is completely adjustable to whatever kind of nature you want to do, whether it's tropical, desert. Now you might even want to add some bushes around the river. And you could add some rocks in there too if you want, but this is where I'm going to leave it. If this tutorial helped you, then feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel, as right now in this current stage every subscription counts, so every single one will be appreciated. My goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, which hopefully I'll be able to get so I can publish my maps. And I'll see you guys again when I make my next tutorial.